Unadulterated authenticity is the part of you that speaks without the imposition of mind limiters or clouded emotions. You shared how your existence is channeled through a projection and evaluation filter from your environment, the globalized classification by type and norms instead of subjectively diagnosed by conditions and direction, influencing you to withhold authentic emotions and conduct yourself in a socially acceptable pathology. Conscience number one, where it seems your fear of people who judge is at the source, where they don't take the time to understand your conditions or help you through them, but instead enact structural procedures such as denying opportunities or cutting off communication. Adulterated authenticity is a term I describe a person who moves with an unformed conscience, inaccurate information, or a heart that gravitates to elements contrary to the authentic conscience. Because if a person is spiritually aligned, where their heart is centered on God, and their thoughts contemplate on doing His will, one's pathological choices on earth would reflect that reality. Now let's transition into conscience number two, where you act on your own accord, pathologically inclined into making poor choices.
Adulterated authenticity is what I would describe conscience number two, a sustained reality that aroused in me fear, anger, and chronic depression. This depression carried with me most of my life, as characterized by all the times I inflicted self-harm. I tried to blind myself and contemplated the idea of wanting to lose my hearing and voice. A few times I tried to get arrested. I just wanted to get away from environments that choose to evaluate me instead of helping me through my conditions. Because a pattern continued throughout all my life where people acted strangely towards me whenever I speak and act casually. It became very clear that acting on my own accord attracted trouble, that unless my words and actions are curated to social norms and standards, I'm better off withdrawing from authenticity, embodying the persona you're familiar with, where impressionism is what breeds love and respect. And when there's someone I've put so much energy into, trying to connect, only to be turned away, you can imagine how the same pattern impacts me again and again. I can either live each day with elevated emotional stress, or I can disassociate and not let anything bother me. That's why I've taken on the pattern of doing what I can by myself and surviving around societal infrastructure, as characterized in perceiving people's evaluations and being afraid of oppressive treatment. This includes when they spread rumors, take away my freedom, or sabotage my chances at intentional direction in life. I know that psych structuring into character requires trust and guidance, yet I appeal to you that influences in my life have been doing the opposite. When they don't connect with me to learn what I shared with you, and instead evaluating people like sorting through apples. I can't change what people do, but I can make life a little more manageable with the alterations into conscience too, filling the void of depression inside with distractions and absorption, as characterized by my tendency to play video games, indulge in consumables, and taking vacations by myself. Accounting for all the social exclusion by creating my own environment of inclusivity, as characterized by my desire to work with you in building an alternative atmosphere and haven realm. A weakened willpower to overcome libido solicitations due to my inclination to make impulsive decisions, as characterized by not having guidance through circumstances and the tendency to lose focus. Pathology of immoral choices in the past, where I have lied, made excuses, and justified misconduct in the protection of my own skin. I'm also guilty of projecting information on people, such as on the woman I fought for. I assumed her faith and purpose even though I only knew as much as the content disclosed online. Since more time is spent in my head than in psychological traction, missing information may be replaced with alternative data. The nature of intrusive thoughts and feelings is a constant battle in discerning what should be filtered in me, as characterized by all the times I made irrational decisions that contributed no psychological or moral benefit. A lot of the music I made was influenced by energy. Instead of acting on this energy, I had sensed it to be more beneficial for everyone if I channeled it. That way, people can learn how their behavior can influence psych alterations, whether their decisions contribute spiritual growth or deterioration. As I take a step back and observe my pathology of conscience too, it seems my desire for stability and inner peace get in the way of my spiritual journey. I told you about the patterns I experience around people, and how certain feelings are aroused underneath my submissive pathology. I understand that authenticity adulteration impacts my relationship with God and His will for my life. Evidently, if I want to be aligned with unadulterated authenticity, I'm going to need intervention. How do I maintain character around environments that don't listen and reinforce the outcomes? What am I supposed to do if guidance is not given and my efforts are exploited? The only solution I have is to share authenticity here and be very careful on the decisions I make on Earth. With that said, I'm ready for moral and psychological advice on how to be spiritually aligned under these conditions.